Greetings and welcome to the basement. In this video we're going to take a look at the Game Master mode for Divinity Original Sin 2. And now the focus of this episode is not going to be on how to set up a game or how to run a game, but rather just sort of a general overview, and hopefully by the end of it you'll have a solid idea of what the Game Master mode is and isn't. So without further ado, let's get in here. Now actually playing the campaign would be a bit awkward for doing an overview video, so I'm just going to leap in to prepare, grab my learning campaign, and load it up. Now while this is loading, a quick line on what I feel the Game Master mode is. The Game Master mode is for when you want to have a highly curated, tabletop-like experience. So, alright, here we go. We're in, and this is really quiet. Let's get some music going. And this also enables me to show off the mood panel, which I will deal with more later. Let's get some tavern music, bard performance going. There we go. That's much better. Okay, so welcome to the Game Master preparation mode. This is pretty much identical to play mode. There's just a few options that are disabled because, well, it makes sense to have them disabled. For example, you can't travel on this overview map here. Alright, so what are the three main modes? You have overview map, you have vignette, and you have game field, which I can't show until I actually load something up. The overview maps are for setting up just sort of the visual reference for the players as to where they are. You can take this little party icon, move it around. You can place pins representing where things are. You can hide pins so that way the players can't see them until you decide that they can. So if I was going through and decided that, okay, they have found the ruins, I can toggle visibility and now they can see it. Or say maybe the village gets destroyed and I can toggle the visibility off. Poor villagers. It is important to note, pretty much across the board, nothing is automatic. The players cannot click on this pin and automatically travel to the village. They either say, okay, Game Master, we travel to the village, or you as the Game Master say, your journal's journeys have finally led you to the village. And you come over to the village in your scenes list, load it up, and the players are at the village. So, this is the game field mode, and this is where your players and you as the Game Master is going to spend the vast majority of your time. You can place down NPCs. You can have them sit at tables for a little bit of cheese bread, and pizza. Pretty sure those weren't traditional medieval foods, but whatever. So we got our two individuals sitting down here. We can put down notes. We have a little oddly fumigated house here. And once again, need to stress, nothing's really automatic. I can't link these doors to load a specific scene. If the players say, okay, well, we go into the stinky house, then I need to come over here to my scene list and say, okay, you enter the ruined dwelling. And this is where the players will start in. And there you go. So, I got this little guy over here hiding. So that's pretty much it for the game field modes. There are quite a few of them for creating them. And just to show it real quick, if I create a new scene, you can see they've got lots of pre-built stuff. Now, if you want something past this, you're going to have to go into the editor, which, as I mentioned, that's way beyond the scope of this video. So what is the final mode? That would be the vignette mode. This is where you can set up a little bit of exposition for the players, give them a block of text to read. Of course, as a good game master, you're also going to read it to them. Bones are piled here. As you shift through them, you hear skittering sounds behind you. What do you wish to do? Ignore them, it's probably just the wind. Or are you going to turn around and see what made them? That's a quick little example there. And then, of course, if we were in actual play mode, players would be able to then select these options, and you would see their icons appear here, so you could easily see who had selected what. Now, again, there's nothing automatic here. Just because they ignore the sounds doesn't mean that the scene's automatically going to transition. I'm going to have to switch back over, no, not to the overview, to the game field, and in that particular vignettes scenario, load that scene up. I would have to come over here to my bone spider. Where'd you go, bone spiders? Bone spiders. There you are. Oh, these bone spiders. I've got these deactivated bone spiders here. I would play that vignette once the players start searching through these bone piles, and depending on what they did, I could then I would pause the game, and I could, like, say, if the chickens, yeah, you can turn people into chickens in this game, chicken form. If the players ignore the sounds, I could perhaps come in here and say, okay, well, the spiders get haste for 2 rounds. So I could give this spider haste, and then I could come over here and give this spider haste. And life will now be a little bit more unpleasant for the players. Now, just a quick overview of all the windows here. We have stickies, which acts as notes either to yourself or to a future game master who is going to be running your module. We have encounter lists, where you can easily sort out things by encounters and be able to change behavior according to encounter group rather than individual critters. We have a creatures and items panel here, where we can place down things to either act as allies or foes or neutrals, and we have a selection of items here that we can place. We have an item generator, so if we want to generate a divine level, how high can I get this? You know what, I'm curious. So if I want a divine level 25 axe, probably not a good idea to give that to the players. I have a mood panel, which we've already seen, and my bard performance I just realized has ended. Let's get that back on. Unfortunately, the music doesn't loop, so you can play a set of music or play some ambience, but more details on that in a future video. You have a surface painter. So if I want a cloud of blood, just kind of creepy, I can paint down a cloud of blood, which actually, no, I really don't want a cloud of blood there. Our friend here too. After I get out of surface painter mode. Yep. So here, surface painter. Make roll window I can't bring up right now because I'm not in play mode. I can set a start point for players, give rewards. Again, I can't bring that up because, again, I'm not in play mode. And finally, toggling between peace mode. Peace mode's on, obviously. The enemy AI is not going to run. If you turn peace mode off and players enter in the sight range of a critter, well, combat happens. And that is pretty much it as far as the overview goes. Again, what this is for is to have a... Oh, looks like Grumpy is doing VR capture. You know, I probably really should deactivate Steam before doing these videos. What this game mode is for is to run an adventure with friends as a quasi-game master. It's going to require a lot of active work from the game master to make it, well, work. You know, this is not Neverwinter Nights, where a game can be run with very minimal input with the game master, with like pre-baked conversations and automatic transitions, and with the game master just kind of monitoring things. No, the game master has to have an active presence in this. There is no other way to do it. Now, if you're looking more for an experience where you and a bunch of friends are just romping through a campaign together, actually, that's mods. You know, you can create a campaign, and just like the main campaign, you can play it with 3 friends. You can play that created campaign with 3 friends. So if that's the experience you're looking for in Divinity, that's where you need to go. All right, well, thank you for listening. I will have some additional videos coming out covering how to use this mode, and hopefully I straighten out my audio issues because it's been a bit annoying recently. So, until next time, Ground P, will you stop messing around with your VR capture?